All right, welcome back to the stream. Welcome back to another video. Today, we are going to get into a variety of topics, but this first topic is about how Tesla is lowering the price or has lowered the price of the Tesla Model 3 in this country. I know we're in the US, but we always like to see what's going out there in the world of Tesla worldwide because, we could see what's going on and it might start to happen here in America as well. So, we've seen this a lot with the Asia countries. They would do some sort of price decrease and then USA would follow right after that. So we're going to get into that plus a variety of different topics, including one topic. I got a message from Tesla with an IRS update deadline. I mean, we'll take it for what it's worth. We'll take any data point for it. But before we get into any on that, let's roll that intro real quick. Thanks for watching another stream. Thanks for watching another video. My name is Dennis, and I love talking about Tesla hacking, as I like to call it, but basically just getting the best deal on a Tesla at the best possible price, or just getting really good financing on your Tesla. So if you're interested in any of that, please hit that subscribe. And today's video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link down below in the description, where you can join and receive some benefits. And thank you to my latest Patreon members. We got to let it go around again, but thank you to Janice, SK, B Will, Ghost, Denon, Mark, and Garish. Thanks for joining the Patreon. Hope you got some benefits from it, including those financing rates that are all lower than Tesla, down below in the Patreon link. And we will be doing an updated video probably this Friday, along with a giveaway for free tints for anybody that's near or that's willing to travel to the SoCal area. We're going to be working with OC Tint Solutions probably, and we're going to see him tomorrow. So hopefully we can line that up with Jason. But let us take a look at it and get into this. So this is the article. Shout out to Tesla North. Tesla lowered the pricing of the Model 3 pricing in Denmark. And we can jump down to the nitty gritty here. Tesla has reduced the prices of the rear wheel drive and long range drive for the Model 3 in Denmark by 30,000 KR, or approximately almost $4,250. That's a lot. That seems pretty big in terms of how much they actually dropped the price. And the interesting thing here is that they dropped it for the rear wheel drive and the long range. For a while, I feel like, long range has certainly been in demand in America, but it seems like they were not as in demand in the other areas or Denmark. So that's a pretty substantial price drop. So we can see here, here's the tweet from Fonz DK. So shout out to Fonz DK for posting this. And let's see here, it was an 8% drop for the Model 3 rear wheel drive and a 7% drop for the Model 3 long range drive. So it's pretty up there, that's for sure. Let's see if there's anything else we can from here. Test the Model Y is still the second best vehicle and best selling EV by miles, and only 8 Model 3s were only sold in January of 2023 for Denmark market. So that might make sense. I mean, Tesla likes to, if they've got a lot of inventory that's piling up, that's when they will press on the price decrease button and try to get some sales and more demand on it. So definitely some pretty interesting stuff. Jumping over to America, or jumping to the US, the Tesla Model 3 inventory is still kind of staying flat. It hasn't really adjusted these past few days. We can take a look at the inventory charts. Shout out to Matt Jung for putting this inventory chart here. You can see all the way to the right that the inventory has pretty much stayed where it's at. It hasn't really gone up or down. We're still sitting at like around 200 vehicles, give or take, for the Tesla Model 3. But the one thing I did notice really quickly here is if you sort it by demo vehicles, there's actually 2 demo vehicles actually available right now. And this Model 3 Performance, has been sitting on the website for a bit now at a $420 discount, but this one right here, only 6 miles. It's a 2023 Model 3 rear wheel drive. It's in Texas, and it's got a $640 discount. So definitely a little weird there, right? I don't even know. It doesn't really make sense on why they would discount this one. I mean, most likely it was a showroom vehicle, or does Tesla need to clear some of their demo status inventory and they need to push out those vehicles before. So in the past, I think like a couple weeks ago in early February, maybe even late January, they did do a round of clearing out their inventory, and there was Model 3s that had $2,000 to $3,000 discounts across the board. And so I really thought Tesla was going to do another $2,000 to $3,000 price decrease, but it seems like Tesla has been able to transact for their Tesla Model 3s at this price point, like a 42,990. So I really don't think at this point they're going to drop any of their prices anymore, because they've got a good amount of Model 3 standard ranges in inventory right here, at least 182, 6 performance Model 3s, but really no long ranges at the moment. So definitely some pretty interesting stuff. But yeah, price decrease in the Denmark market, 8% and 7%. I mean, that's bigger than what the US did, that's for sure. I mean, the US only dropped 3% for the Model 3 standard range, if not a little bit more. But here's a price history tracker. It's a Tesla car price history tracker. Shout out to the person that put this together. We can see when we went from that fateful day in January when there was price decreases from January 12th, we went from 46,990 down to 43,990, or a $3,000 price decrease. And then shortly after that, a few weeks later, we went down to 42,990 with a $1,000 decrease. But the big story here was the Model 3 long range at the time. It went from 57,990, or basically 58,000, down to 49,990, or basically 50,000. That was an $8,000 price decrease, which essentially is about 8% on what we're seeing in the Denmark market right now. And so what's surprising to me is that the Model 3 standard range didn't really go that much lower. I guess we can do the math here. It went $4,000 down from 46,990, and actually no, that's 8% decrease. But let's do the math on here on a Model 3 long range for an $8,000 discount from 57,990, and that's a almost 14% decrease for the Model 3 long range, went from 58 down to $50,000. So definitely some pretty interesting stuff. Denmark is, I guess they might have had a lot of inventory, or they really need to clear. I think the one thing that was cited in this article was that the Model 3 and the Model Y, the pricing was too close to each other. And so that's why they decreased the price of the Model 3 that much more. And that's kind of the same of what's going on in the US, right? And maybe that's why, the Model 3 long range still has not been posted on the websites yet. I mean, we know that the Model 3 long range is priced at 49,990, at least for inventory vehicles that pop up, but it has not been loaded onto the Tesla website just yet. And so maybe that's, their reasoning. They don't want to put it up there, because if they do, that's going to cannibalize some of their Model Y sales. I mean, the Model Y standard range is what, 52 or 51,990, and then a Model 3 long range is 49,990. So essentially a $2,000 difference between a Model Y standard range and a Model 3 long range. And so that could be why they haven't put those two vehicles on the website yet, because it's just too close between each other, and it would cannibalize Model 3 long range sales, even though right now there really isn't too many Model 3 long ranges at the moment anyways. But let's just quickly jump over to the Model Y side and take a look if there's any differences here. It's kind of the same thing. That Model Y is still very, very low on inventory, so I can certainly see a price increase coming very, very soon. And I thought there was definitely going to be one this past week, but with, I guess maybe because it's the end of the month, they didn't want to adjust any sort of sales by the end of the month. Or are they waiting for the price, the federal tax credit? Like, are they waiting for whatever this is going to shake out, the $7,500 federal tax credit? Is it going to, what time is that time frame going to change? All we know is it may change sometime in March, and we have no idea at the moment. So definitely some pretty interesting stuff. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you're thinking. Do you think a Tesla Model 3 price decrease is happening, or do you think a price increase is happening for the Tesla Model Y? Both of them seem to have, or Model Y definitely has lower inventory than the Model 3, but definitely some pretty interesting stuff. But we're going to jump into our next topic, which actually goes along right with the IRS deadline, I guess, since we're just talking about it. But before we do that, this video is sponsored by my Patreon link. Down in the description, there's a Patreon link where you can support the channel. So definitely check it out if you are interested.